time once again for a couple of cold ones with Corey and Leon. Yeah, every week
it's supposed to be Corey and Carlisle.
Well, every week Carlisle does that.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, that's not me doing that. He does. That's his thing.
Okay.
Can you imagine that son of a bitch trying to be Barry White? He comes in with a Jerry curl wig and everything.
You mean very white? It's an old joke, but it's a classic, but still a goodie.
But hey, you can't pass it up. Not with him because it's the truth. That ain't no joke. But so I just took it upon myself because he's not here this week.
I know, and I guess I'm going to be doing double duty because I'll be recording a Leog.
That's right, on Wednesday night. Yeah. So tonight, and he made sense. He said, "Look, you guys just got back because okay, people. Tonight is Monday, the 28th. The 28th. Looking at that James Bond watch you got on.
Yep, 28th.
Got a computer right in front of me, but you had to show off that Rolex, didn't you?
Hey man, I had to beat James Bond's ass to get this watch. Of course, I'm gonna show it off.
Damn, that's all you got? You could have took the car too. Shit, if you're gonna take something.
I wasn't thinking at the time.
Does it shoot a laser? But so it's Sunday. You got back yesterday. I mean, It's Monday tonight. You got back on Sunday.
Right.
So I'm just getting back tonight. So
man,
Carlisle
you never sleep. You're the hardest working man in show. Now that James Brown is dead, you are the hardest working man in show business.
Yeah, I killed him because I wanted that title. I just exposed myself right there. Yes, I murdered James Brown because, man, you ain't no joke. I mean, I worked my ass off at that Comic-Con.
Yes, you did.
I'm not even saying this to brag. I thought I was going to go and be like, yeah, Comic-Con, I'm going to have fun. And I went there and I was like, I'd be damned. I either was stuck in a hotel room. I was stuck in a room at the convention center or stuck on the toilet.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's right. Man, you were in the exhibit hall, not the exhibit hall. In a room where they were showing previews, or stuck in a hotel room on the toilet working on your laptop at the same time.
Man, let me tell you something. Okay, first of all, I know you don't really listen to this. So let me explain this to you, how this happens, how this works.
Let me know how it goes.
Yeah, Carlisle thought it would be good if you and I did it because he's busy tonight, and he said you got back from Comic-Con, and it'd be good for you guys to go ahead and just compare notes because we got a lot to talk about.
Man, he's not busy. He's somewhere painting his Dungeons and Dragons figures.
For him, that's busy. That's not a pastime for him. That's life.
He got a new Vorpal sword or something.
Yeah, I got a new wizard or some shit. Holding a fillet of fish in one hand and a magic wand in the other. All right, let's go ahead and get into the top five here. Number 5. That's what he does.
Oh, okay.
All right, so number 5 is Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Did it open at number 5? Or it's number 5 left over from
now,
last week?
we saw this. This movie's been out for 3 weeks.
3 weeks? Really?
Yeah, this movie's been out for 3 weeks.
Oh,
and
damn.
And it's done, well, it hasn't done great. It's done $60 million right now, which is probably more than they thought it would for a movie that type.
Yeah, it's respectable.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much money they spent on it. I mean, it was in 3D, so you know how it is with me. You put shit in 3D, I don't know how bad the effects are. Yeah, man, that dinosaur's coming at me.
I mean, it's not even a real movie. It's a thrill ride, basically.
Yeah, it's Six Flags.
Yeah, it is. It totally is. It's something that would be at Six Flags or it'd be at one of those Las Vegas casinos.
I'll be damn. Computer's whining now. I got to go get the ice pack. Can you go get the ice pack? You see I'm strapped down. If you don't mind. You see I got these headphones on. And I'll keep talking while you're doing that. And if the ice pack's not in there, get a TV dinner. That bottle of Jaeger that's in there, we'll put it under here if we need to. Those aren't mine. Wait a minute, the cold pack wasn't in there? You sure? I threw it in there. You just want to drink that Jaeger, that's all. You ain't fooling nobody. Hey man, since it's out and it's yeah. Oh, here it is. Yeah, you ain't slick. Did you lock a chipmunk up in there? You hear that? Is that a no? Don't mess with it. You can leave it like. You can say that. I think it does that sometime. I'm gonna say you like a squirrel up in there.
Damn, nigga, you got some cheap ass shit in here. First off, your freezer that doesn't have a light on, so I couldn't see jack shit that was in there. Now, an alarm is going off on it. What is that?
It ain't that cheap if I got a car alarm on my freezer.
That's kind of ghetto. That you live in a house like this, and yet you got a car alarm on your freezer.
I can lock that shit up with my keychain. The squirrel are down a little bit. We'll just go ahead. I knew that was going to happen. It was doing it ever since I filmed a movie over here. Anyway. Oh, my God.
Hilarious. What the hell is that?
People, I'm sorry. I would love to continue with this, but I don't know what that is.
I swear to God, it sounds like one of those aliens on the Outer Limits. Just from some cheap '60s TV show.
Oh my God, people! I'm so sorry for the delay here. We can't even get into the top 5. Okay.
You got to stop.
Yeah, I got to stop this. I can't sound like a fucking spaceship is coming down. Yeah. People of the Earth,
exactly.
I've come for your German sausages. All right, I just had to unplug that shit. It would stop. We've come for the Jägermeister. No, it's okay. So it stopped. All right, so. Journey to the Center of the Earth. All right, I don't even want to talk about that shit no more. I mean, we got interrupted enough. I need to get to this top 5. We're going to be here till 5 o'clock in the morning. Number 2. So, number 4. Okay, this is the one I want to talk about right here.
Okay.
The X-Files. I want to believe.
I want to believe this is going to be a good movie, shit, but it sounds like it ain't.
No, I believe this is some bullshit because look, man, the movie made. Now this is the X-Files. I mean, I was in New York when they came out and like. How many X-Files fans do we have out there? They'll be like, yeah! Like, oh, we're going to do gangbusters with this. And like, I'm thinking to myself, every X-Files X-Files fan in New York is in this room. Sure. Because don't nobody give a shit about the X-Files no more. What makes them think they can make a movie right now?
Honestly, it's one of those shows. Personally, on a personal level, I never understand why they make a theatrical movie based on a TV show. Because I'm like, wait. I used to watch this for free, and now you think I'm going to pay to go see this shit? You got to be out your goddamn mind. But, X-Files is one of those shows when they said they were going to make this movie. Now, after the first movie was bad, you got people still want to believe that the next one was going to be good. Like, they're like, no, this will be the good one. We believe. And you're right. It is probably about 2,500 people total. But apparently this movie is not even no better than the first one.
No. I mean... $10 million, man.
$10 million? Really? That's what it made?
Opened up at 4th place and $10 million. They said that was probably half of what they expected this to make. They were like, okay, we get the feeling now there's not a whole bunch of people really wanting an X-Men movie, but maybe
X-Files.
I mean X-Files movie, our X-Men movie at this point too. But and they were saying, yeah, but maybe we'll just make really good money on that Friday, and then we can just go on our merry way. And then they looked at the returns and they're like, shit.
Well, how long has that shit been off TV?
That's what I'm saying. Who don't nobody give a damn about Muldoon and Scumrag or whatever.
I'm saying. I mean, that was a show that I was never all that into. Muldoon and Scully. On TV.
You know, they had these one-shot episodes every now and then.
Yeah, and every so often.
And those one-shots were cool. As a matter of fact, one of them is one of the best things I've seen on TV. One of the scariest things. It's just the most disturbing. And this episode called Home gave me nightmares. It gave me a nightmare after I saw it. I was like, damn, that was disturbing. But I don't think people understood that this movie was also supposed to be a one-shot. It was not supposed to be related to this whole alien conspiracy and all that kind of bullshit. And it wasn't pitched that way. People still thought that they were continuing the storyline from the show, and people were sick of that in the first place.
Right. Well, see, here's the thing. Like, I know one guy who he'd been bugging me like all summer about the X-Files movie. Is it going to be good? What have you heard? Are you going to get to go to a screening? Can I come with you? Now, first thing y'all need to know, and if you don't know already, was that not only did they not screen it in Austin, Texas, they screened it the closest to us was San Antonio, and they forbid anybody from Austin from going to the screening.
Yeah, we covered that last week. We talked about that whole thing. Yeah, and they didn't. So
they know like with Austin, they're like, okay, you guys are picky and a little bit more intellectual than most, and we don't want any bad press getting out. We want this to get out of the gate as fast as it can with no press on the strength of the diehard fans. And this guy who loves X-Files, he went and saw it. He came back to me today and said it was like a bad episode of CSI. He said he couldn't wait for this. He couldn't wait to see this movie, and he saw it. He said he was bored and disappointed.
Man, it's not even an episode of the X-Files. It's like this ain't even X-Files.
That's what he said.
CSI.
He said it was CSI.
Damn, this is I was puzzled when they said we're making the next X-Files movie because there was really no demand there. I mean, there wasn't.
No, there wasn't.
I thought to myself, maybe there's something that I'm missing because I'm not a huge X-Files fan. I can tell you a lot of things about the show because I just caught it, just like with Sex and the City.
Yeah,
I knew more than I thought, but I never thought that people were saying we need another X-Files, and there it goes, right there. You didn't. So
serious. Any TV show, the only movie a TV show needs is a TV movie.
Yeah. Well, Wrath of Khan was pretty badass when it came out. So.
Okay, but how many years after the fact?
Okay, all right. I'm just saying it's possible.
And by that time, it was based on a movie. movie franchise.
Okay. I'm just saying it's possible. I think they could have made a cool ass X-Files movie, but the time for that is past.
They
but they
tried
didn't.
twice.
Yeah. But maybe they can't. I don't know. I don't watch that shit. Anyway, so number 3. Oh, I didn't sing it. Number 3, Mamma Mia.
Oh, your favorite movie?
Look, I'm a fair guy. I like I said, I will tell you if something's doing well, if there's a demand for it. Apparently, people want to know. This is how much people didn't want an X-Files movie. They wanted a Mamma Mia movie before they wanted to see the X-Files. Now, Mamma Mia, it was a modest budget for that movie, and believe me, it shows. That was a goddamn high school production, but I mean, that thing must have cost like about $10, $15 to make, but they made $62 million so far after 2 weeks, and that is not bad for a movie.
Not bad.
A musical that has a diehard fan base, but not really well known.
Well, I think like they said, like I read that like as far as musicals go, it had like the second best opening next to Hairspray.
Actually, you know what? I'm sitting up here. I am talking out my ass. I'm sitting up here saying it's probably not well known. That means I don't know it, but I know I was reading up on the movie. The movie, I mean on the show, well, I don't know if it's on Broadway. The stage show.
Sure.
That shit has made like $2 billion now.
Right.
Like, and so that's a hell of a lot of people that want to see this. So apparently that fan base to help supply this movie with a lot of money. And it's not bad for a movie that's opening up against Batman, a bunch of other high profile movies, and it's a musical. And hey, what can I say? It's not even that big of a budget.
I gotta tell you, I like musicals, and I even I'll admit to liking ABBA. I'm a child of that era, but I had no desire to see this.
It really is for people who want to see this movie and for people who love ABBA that much.
Now, people.
Gay people and women who are 45 and over.
Ah, gotcha.
And their kids. I mean, I don't know. My whole opinion is after I saw this movie, I went to go eat at Denny's, and I heard ABBA playing over the speakers while I was sitting up there eating pancakes, and I'm like, if you into ABBA and you just want to see this just based on ABBA, you can hear ABBA anywhere. I'm sitting up here eating fucking pancakes in Denny's and ABBA is playing. Do you really need a musical based on ABBA music to go see at the theater? I don't get it, but apparently a lot of people do. The movie made $62 million.
It's funny. So. It's one of those things where like I say I like ABBA, but I don't own any ABBA albums. So it's like I always kind of I always enjoyed that music, but it's the kind of thing like once people start making a big deal about it and acting like it's bigger than what it is, it almost makes me want to not like them.
Actually, this musical makes the music look bad. If you ask me, it's like this music was a part of its time, but it ain't fucking good.
It was just a little fun pop music, but don't act like it's bigger than what it is.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to number 2.
Does Carlisle talk less? Am I talking too much?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
No. Does Carlisle talk less? When does he ever talk less? If anything, I'm worried if I'm talking too much.
I was being sarcastic.
And it's so funny because I will say to him, I will say, well, okay, let me get a word in here. Let me continue or something. He's like, after he's talked for like about 15 minutes, oh, I'm sorry. I just thought that this was a thing where 2 people talked. And I was like, well, no, it isn't because I haven't been able to say a fucking word for the last 10 minutes. So I'm trying to make it that. You sarcastic motherfucker, you. So anyway, number 2 is Step Brothers.
Oh, now here's a movie that we all loved.
Well, yeah, I know y'all made fun of me.
I should have waited till you had a swig of beer in your mouth to say that.
And I was about to take it too. As you know, I hated this movie, and I thought people were getting tired of Will Ferrell after Semi-Pro.
Yeah, apparently not.
But apparently the fact that he wasn't doing some sports shit maybe is why people want to see this.
You know what? I can't figure out what it is. I mean, honestly, for this to do so well, I don't know why Semi-Pro didn't.
The only thing I can think really is that this was Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly, and people were thinking about how good they did together back in Talladega Nights.
That's got to be it.
And so they said, well, it's not a sports film. These guys are doing what they do best. They're acting retarded, and they were very funny together in that movie. So, yeah, people went to go check it out. As much as I didn't like the movie did well.
I'm betting it also played in a lot of theaters that The Dark Knight did. So when people got up there and they were like, sorry, we sold out. Like, fine, fuck it. I guess I'll see Step Brothers instead.
Yeah. Or it could be some sort of, it's just strategy too. I mean, Dark Knight's been playing for a while.
True.
This movie's the newest movie, and it's counter against everything that's out there at the moment. Yeah. I mean, out of the new releases, this is the comedy. So yeah, I mean, it's all a business move, and it worked well. And it all was also it helped that it was in 3,000 theaters. So whatever, they knew what they were doing. All right, and here we go. Number one.
Well, golly, what could be the number one movie?
It's funny because Hellboy shot back up, man.
Really?
Yeah, it did. I mean, it's funny how Dark Knight fell. No, I feel stupid even saying what number one is because everybody knows what number one is.
Wait a minute, Hellboy's not in the top 5?
No, it's not.
Wow, I'm truly shocked.
Actually, Hellboy fell to number 8, and it's only made $66 million.
Damn, really?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's okay, but it's not.
That's not really okay for that.
For that kind of movie, I mean, they made it for a low budget. I mean, okay, not a low budget, but they were smart about their money, and they were able to shoot it on a lower budget than probably most people would shoot. I mean, apparently Guillermo del Toro is very smart about that.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's not the top 5 anymore. The Dark Knight, though, on the other hand, has made $313 million, man.
The movie's a juggernaut. I mean, it's got, besides having just all the gimmicks that goes for it, it's a good fucking movie.
Yeah, no, it's that's one of the things that they're beginning to realize. You cannot take these comic book movies and think comic book and be afraid to make dramas out of them. Be afraid to make a straight action films out of them. And the thing that's the word that's being thrown around right now. I just read it in USA Today when I was on my way back. The superhero is gone right now. It's not saying super villains or anything like that, but they're saying the goody two shoes, all for good, coming out being the straight edge Boy Scout image of a superhero is gone. They want people with problems. They want people who are dark. They want people who are mentally ill, drunks. I mean, look at Hancock. Look at even Batman in this. We begin to wonder if he's crazy.
Well, I mean, I don't know if that's so much what's selling it. I mean, to me, what's selling it is the fact that it's a whole new generation. Prior to this, the generations that were filming the comic book movies were the same parents who threw out their kids comic books, who were like, why are you reading this junk? And when they were told, like, hey, we're giving you a superhero movie to film, they were like, okay, this is just a bunch of stupid shit, bodybuilders in cat suits, with lantern jaws who always do the right thing when it's kind of goofy. Sure, yeah. I can do goofy. I can do all that. And if it didn't have some element of fun or goofiness to it, they were like, oh, come on, lighten up. That's what these things are about. Now you got the generation who grew up with these things, who took them seriously, who saw the potential in them, and they're saying like, yeah, I'm going to exploit it exactly for what I see it as.
No, it is a generational thing. And that is funny because we're going to talk about this when we get into Comic-Con. Because you've been to Comic-Con before. I have not.
Yeah, I've been this is probably my 10th one.
So I'm there, and I'm beginning to realize what is happening with all of this stuff now. Things that were seen as nerd things and niche things, or things that were just you were supposed to drop at a certain age. It's finally coming to age, man. And it's not only is it coming to age, but it is very trendy right now.
No, geek culture is now pop culture.
Yeah, exactly. Now, before we get into Comic-Con, because I think it's going to be sort of we're going to be getting into it pretty deep.
Okay.
I want to go ahead and just jump into some things that happened this week.
Okay. News.
There you go.
Timothy Frog here for Sesame Street News.
That big into you, ain't it? By the end of the night, Kermit the fucking motherfucker. So, speaking of Batman, there's talk about this movie possibly beating out Titanic as the number one movie of all time.
Right now, it's looking like it. Well, you know what? You know why it's going to beat it? Because I'm going to go see it again twice this weekend.
I don't want to be the guy to go out and say my opinion is right. You need to go see this movie that I love to make this other movie that I do not like disappear. You need to make this movie number one. So I'm not going to be that guy, but if you do go see it over and over again, you will be putting a better movie in its place, I think.
Well, you got to ask yourself, who do you want to be the ruler of pop culture? Teenage girls or guys?
Are the teenage girls 18 yet?
Either way, do you want them in charge of what movies you see?
No, I don't know. I'm still amazed. In my opinion, James Cameron made a technical marvel with Titanic. I mean, I think his love was there for it. At the time, it was amazing to see the Titanic sink at that time.
Okay.
But the rest of the movie, I love James Cameron, but I'm gonna call it for what it was. The story was just filler for you to see that boat sink,
yes.
And the acting was bad. Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate, what's her name?
Winslet.
Kate Winslet. Look, everybody in the movie did their part, but you had a couple of roles that were kind of bad, especially, you know who I'm talking about.
Who, Billy Zane?
Billy Zane.
I love Billy. Well, I love Billy Zane's character because I feel like this is a guy who's getting fucked and everybody's treating him like the bad guy. And I'm like, hey, she's the one marrying him just for his money.
That's true.
He's in this for real, and she's just marrying for his money, and he's there with his business associates, and she's fucking around with this
tramp.
Tramp in front of her. You know, like that makes him look weak in business, and they're gonna laugh at him behind his back and just take advantage of him, and she's putting him in jeopardy. So he had every right to get mad, grab her by the wrist, and y'all might say like, well, he was abusive. For that time period, that was not abusive. For that time period, he was being a nice guy.
That was getting shit done.
Yeah. If he had thrown her off the boat, that would have still been acceptable.
Back then, yeah. For what she did, it would have been like, yeah, you know, okay, I would have hated to seen you back then.
I'm just saying, hey, I was back then. I'd have been somebody's butler.
You would have been cracking bottles over bitches' heads and shit. This is acceptable.
I'm just talking about the good old days. I mean, I'm talking about the old days, you know.
Now, you see how you explain that? Now, is this the movie that you want to be number one of all time?
Oh, no.
Now, then you got a movie
No. Here's my thing with Titanic. I don't hate the movie. I give it a lot of credit for being 3 fucking hours and not, boring me to tears where I got up and left. Now, it does drag. Don't get me wrong.
Well, but, you don't drag because you waiting for that fucking boat to sink. You waiting for Leonardo DiCaprio to freeze to death and go to the bottom of the sea.
Well, I didn't know he was going to do that. But I do like when everything's going down, the band's like, well, let's just keep playing.
Now, those motherfuckers did not play when that boat was sinking.
Well, what the hell else were they going to do?
Run. I mean, this any kind of chance. Hop on an iceberg or something.
That's like Nero fiddling while Rome was burning.
All I'm saying is, you ever heard a band like a marching band, and somebody just stopped and you hear this, that's what you heard when they got up and ran.
That's how you got fusion jazz.
Shit, those motherfuckers are like, they were probably pushing women out the way. Shit, I need room for me and my drums. Shit. Bitch, you better get out the way. I got a gig tomorrow. But no. Now, is that the movie you want to be number one? Do you want something good, like in all areas? Look, because like I said, my whole point with this was that Titanic was, well, it appealed to the young girls because they love the love story. Sure. So we're talking about young girls.
Yeah, young girls and lonely middle-aged women.
Exactly. And everybody else just wanted to see the Titanic sink. That's all this had going for it. No drama, really.
Not really.
No, nothing deep there. But with Batman, I'm amazed that they made a good movie.
Yes.
And if anything deserves to be number one of all time, is this film.
Yes, it's a film that's so good, no matter how much somebody comes to you and says, man, this movie's great. It's probably one of the best movies you're ever going to see.
I think they're chasing Batman outside. You No, look, I'm happy for the movie. I know somebody out there saying, what you happy for? You ain't getting none of that money. But I'm happy to see a good film that deserves to be well recognized. After so many times I've seen examples of good movies just go under, and being nervous about this movie because it's so good, and when you walk out, you're kind of worried of, well, our audiences are going to like this because they're going to think it's too deep or too good and it's not comic book enough.
I'm happy because now I no longer have to argue with people about whether Tim Burton's Batman is good or not, or whether it's the best Batman. You still got some people who's like, well, I thought Tim Burton's Batman was the better Batman movie. I'm like, what, are you sick?
I have surprisingly not had to argue with people on that. Maybe because I didn't come at people too strong. Because I've always said I like the Tim Burton Batman for what it is. I think that it set a legacy for the image that we want of Batman.
Okay.
It set the standard, but is it a good script? No, it is not. And I keep telling, is it a good movie? Really, sometimes it feels like they made it so poorly that the editing is even bad.
Right.
Everybody knows that scene where the Joker comes in and puts handprints on a painting, and then there's another scene where the handprints are gone.
Right.
So and it's just disjointed. It's the Joker show.
It's to me, that movie is typical of what I see Tim Burton do all the time.
Yeah,
where he takes somebody else's property and makes it very Tim Burton-y. And then somewhere in the middle or in the third act, just kind of gets bored with it and just does whatever.
Yeah. So, I'm the movie. Possibly, we're not saying that it is going to do that, but at the pace it's going now, 313 million. Is that what it is? Something like that. It is on its way to possibly being good contender for beating Titanic. And
you know what?
I'm happy about that.
Here's the one thing that could stop it from beating Titanic.
James Cameron. No, what?
DVD, people knowing that there's a point where you could see it twice in the theater and say, I want to see it again, but I'll wait to watch it on DVD.
That's true.
Where you couldn't really do that with Titanic. So with Titanic, you had to go to the theater to see it.
Yeah. No, that's a pretty good assumption there. It is. I never thought about that. And it's true with DVDs these days. People can be patient.
Yeah.
They should just come out and say, you know what? All you sons of bitches are going to see this movie so much, we're going to wait 2 years to bring it out. In fact, it's not going to even be out until the next Batman movie is going to be out. I'll fix y'all little asses out there.
Well, I would say to anybody who's thinking that, like, I'll just watch it on DVD. This movie was filmed. A lot of scenes were filmed in IMAX. So it's really set up for a big screen.
Now, that's one of the things that people are talking about.
Is how it's broken all the IMAX records?
Well, no, because everybody knew that was a great possibility. But also, this whole competition with the home market and getting people into theaters, that's one of the things that they're thinking about doing is adding scenes to movies, things that you can only see theatrically that fits the format of a huge screen.
Right.
That in 3D. And so, I mean, this could be sort of a litmus test for that kind of thing. So, speaking of Batman, and like we have been doing in the last hour. Yeah. Here's an interesting story somebody sent me, man. I didn't see it till I got back from San Diego today. What the hell are they chasing out there? You hear that shit? And the Joker must be out there running around. So I'm going to say
it's the Joker.
Damn, because everybody thinks that this place is located in the ghetto, and it's not. I mean, it's just near.
Kinda is.
Is it?
No, not really.
I was about to say, where? They about to put me out. I mean, the price is going up around here. Listen, I wish it was the ghetto. Wait, I got the freezer to go with it.
With you living here, I'm sure a lot of people around here think it's the ghetto. Like the moment they saw you moving your stuff in, they were like, "Ah, shit, call the realtor."
God damn, this Negro's moving next door.
You're a Blockbuster.
Okay, let's see, man. We have this story that somebody sent me. Now, I haven't read this. I'm gonna read it to you.
Okay.
Apparently, some fool left his baby. I ain't even no kid. Left a baby in the car to go see Batman.
Maybe it was Batman.
What? Maybe I gotta go see my own movies. Yeah, he left a little baby dressed like Robin in the car. No,
well, you gotta admit, like The Dark Knight is not a movie for kids. So, in some way, he did the more responsible.
He was being a responsible dog. Probably was his excuse when he got arrested. That's what he's gonna say in court. He's like, "Hey, I was
Your
here
Honor,
already.
I want you to look at this movie. Now, tell me, would I have been responsible to take my kid to see this?"
I hope he's not defending himself. Because if he uses that, they're going to lock his ass under the jail. All right, let's see what this says here. It says, a Salt Lake audience was engrossed in the new action-packed Batman when it was interrupted by police who stopped the film to arrest a father who was watching the movie while his child sat in a locked car in the Century 16 theater parking lot. So this dude, so think about this. You sit up there watching Batman, and they probably have some scene where they are chasing the Joker.
Oh,
right. The police are coming after him, and then the film stops, and the police come in. They're like, "God damn, he in here? Hey man, you got like about 5 kids dressed like the Joker at that screen and running out the theater. I didn't do it."
Well, think about how pissed you would be at that douchebag who stopped your movie because he left his kid out.
Because he was a suck-ass father. Now check this out. It gets worse.
Okay.
It's bad enough that you lock the kid in the car.
Right.
Now, there is a pro and a con here, but this is bad.
I mean, I do remember my parents, or at least my dad, used to lock me in the car when he would go in the stores.
When he go drink?
Yeah.
Wait here for me, son.
He cracked the windows, and that was back in the 70s when nobody knew any better.
Hey, boy, you want to be a superhero? Watch my car. If anybody tries to mess with, do some of that kung fu shit you see in cartoons or something. Now, check this out. It was almost 2 a.m. Sunday when the 2-year-old boy was finally rescued from the car.
2 a.m.?
2 a.m. Now, I was going to say there's a pro and con to this. I was going to say, well, at least it was at night where it wasn't hot. But they said the temperature inside was 87 degrees. But that wasn't the only threat facing him. While the 23-year-old David Farnham.
Oh, 23, of course.
Yeah, dumbass. Was enjoying the 11:30 p.m.